very hearty good evening to all of you. Welcome to my channel and welcome to your IT session. Now, today we are going to discuss session 5 from the chapter Green Skills, which is unit 5 in your textbook. So, students, so far you have been studying a lot about what is your environment, what is ecosystem, how you can play your part, play your role in protecting the environment. So we will be going a step further and discussing about how we can protect our environment. So today I am going to take up session 5 from this chapter in detail. So let's move on. So as you can see, we are doing green skills. I'll be taking you directly to session 5. So we will be seeing environmental protection and conservation. As you know, environmental protection is the need of the hour. If we don't protect our environment today, if we don't save our planet today, then tomorrow it might be quite possible that we might not leave a sustainable environment for our future generations. Our future generations might be born in one such environment where it would be difficult to breathe without wearing a mask, without carrying an oxygen cylinder with you wherever you go. Okay. Uh, there would be scarcity of natural resources. There would be absolutely lack of any flora and fauna anywhere. So if you don't want to leave such an environment for your future generations, you will have to think about how to conserve and protect your environment. So in this session, we are going to see exactly, we are going to discuss those ways and means in which we can play our part in protecting our environment. So, what is environmental protection? Effort of securing the environment by individual. Until and unless we as individuals we play our part or we contribute something, until and unless we start something, they say that charity begins at home. So until and unless we as individuals start with it, we won't be able to make others aware. How you can do it? If you have a garden, try to plant more trees. Okay. uh, you can cultivate a habit of gardening, which can also become a leisure time activity for you. Always dispose of the garbage in a proper way. Always sort out the garbage as plastics or as wet garbage or dry waste, wet waste. Okay, so always try to have two bins at your home, one for wet waste and one for dry waste. And also when um, you see the waste disposal van, it arrives, try to dispose of the garbage in the proper bin. That is, the wet waste should go into the green basket and the dry waste should go into the blue basket. So, and not only that, you can also make others aware of this. So, not just keeping your home clean is not sufficient. You also have to keep your surroundings clean. Government efforts, of course, government plays a major role in saving or protecting the environment. Until and unless government supports individuals or NGOs, nobody has the power to take decisions or nobody has the power to do or implement something. So it is always expected from the government that they lay the foundation for protecting the environment. Non-governmental organizations, of course, NGOs are, they play a major role in raising awareness among people. Not only that, but they also help people, individuals, because we as individuals, we might fall apart in this. We might be cornered in our society, so we can take help from these NGOs. Okay. Like there is an NGO which is currently working in Bhopal, Sakaratmak Soch. So they have played a vital role in protecting environment by raising awareness in schools to people. Okay. And so we can contribute, we can also form our own small groups and organizations and try to contribute to this. We cannot expect everything from the government. So we ourselves have to take the initiative first, and then slowly you will find that other people, even if they are doing it for publicity, but larger organizations will join you eventually. Saving the environment, what can you do? You can learn about the environment, learning through the environment, and learning for the environment. Of course, everything should be oriented towards the environment. So, how can you learn about the environment? Acquisition of knowledge, understanding the surroundings and related issues. So, you have to first start acquiring knowledge, okay, about your environment by looking into the local issues which the people are facing in your area. So we can just say that you can, first of all, you have to acquire knowledge. You have to gather knowledge from people. Okay. So you can educate people about the environment, enlighten them in utilizing their knowledge and skills, because it's not necessary that we would be having the entire knowledge. It is quite possible that others have more knowledge regarding this, so we can take help from them. So first thing is learning about the environment, where we can acquire knowledge and we can understand our surroundings and the related issues. Okay. So the very first step is learning about the environment. We have to learn about our environment, right? So first find out about the prevalent issues in your locality. What, suppose there is a very old tree which there a very old tree which is there in your locality, but owing to some selfish people, selfish motives, they try to cut it down. So you can raise voice, but it is quite possible that because you are alone, so you might be cornered there. So you can take help of local authorities, you can take help of some NGOs or some like-minded people in first making those people understand what it is. So for this, you have to learn about the various laws which exist, because only with the help of those laws you can stop such people. Learning through the environment. So you can learn while being engaged with environment inside and outside classroom, learning through observation, hands-on experience, learning by doing, problem solving, efficient resource utilization, green processes. So all these things, learning through the environment, only when you start practicing certain things you will get a hands-on experience. Learning by doing. Sorry. The more you play your part in solving such problems, you will get a hands-on experience in problem solving. Technologies, yes, of course, social media is one of the best platforms where you can post certain things regarding this, raise awareness among people. Okay, many people are doing that. Many NGOs who are trying to rescue injured dogs or injured animals, they have created their Facebook pages, Instagram accounts, they have their own Twitter handles, they have their YouTube channels. So you can make use of social media, you can make use of technology to make people aware. Interacting into business and daily activities. Learning for the environment. Informed responses, responsibility towards environment. Yes, why are you learning? Because you want to do something for the environment. So these are certain things which you can do at your level to protect your environment. Next, and very important, reduce, reuse and recycle. Okay, this is something which we have to adapt in our daily life. We have to adapt to it, right? And we also have to practice this, right? Modern waste management. In schools, we normally have a best out of waste competition, right? That is utilizing all the waste materials and creating something useful out of it. So that is something which we have to now practice in our daily life. As you can see some images here, this is a mask which is created out of waste paper. Here also you can see some bowls created out of waste paper which may not be useful for holding any soup or tea or anything, any wet liquidy substance, but it can be used for keeping dry vegetables, fruits, or it could also be used for keeping certain things like keychains or daily use items, those items which we forget, safety pins, paper clips, and all those things. We can keep it on our table and we can use that. We can easily put things on it and use it. And here you can see something, some Japanese letters are there. Actually, in Japan, they have they have found a new way of recycling paper. How? All that waste paper, it's made into a pulp and they create newspapers. They use it for publishing newspapers, magazines and all. And they also mix some seeds, some plant seeds along with the pulp. So when the paper comes out, it actually has some plant seeds in it, so that even if you dispose it outside, that paper will decompose properly and those seeds would grow into plants. So as you can see over here, small shoots coming out of the paper. So this is an innovative idea which we can also apply here. So paper for each notebook means cutting down of a tree, of course. Okay. So do not leave too much spaces while writing the text. You can save now, children, you do this many a times even in your exams, just to show that you are using a lot of paper, or just to show that you are utilizing a lot of supplementary sheets. You write something on a piece of paper. Your paper is normally like this is your answer sheet, and you merely fill a few lines like this, not even half the paper. Rest of the paper goes blank and you start filling the next page. My advice to you, kindly don't do this. Try to divide your page into two equal halves and utilize those. Make a habit in writing in columns. Make two or three columns and write your answers. Use not if not three columns, at least you can make two columns and write your answers there. It's not like I am paying for the paper, I'm paying the exam fee, so I have the right. That doesn't give you the right to waste paper, because when you are wasting paper, you are actually encouraging felling of trees, which is something very serious for your environment. Of course there are no charges would be levied on you for this, but you know what you are doing to the environment with that. Make it a habit to use digital notebooks like Microsoft OneNote. Okay, those digital notebooks can go up to any length. You don't have to pay anything. If you stop using this paper, you will automatically see that the production will also reduce, and so will stop the felling of trees, the cutting of trees. Do not leave, and also make it a habit to use recycled paper. Okay, if you are throwing out, don't just throw out the waste papers out in the open. Keep it separately and sell it to those people who come for collecting waste materials. So you can just sell it to them, they would take it to the plant, and there it would be recycled into a pulp, and some it can be reutilized as paper. Okay, so do not leave too much spaces while writing the text. Reduce the wastage of paper. Reuse. Second step is, first thing is we have to cut down on our usage of natural resources. Right. If I say now when I say reduce, if you have to walk to the nearby store for buying vegetables or something, better walk. If it is a 5 minutes distance or a 10 minutes distance, consider walking. Consider going there on foot rather than again taking out your bike or your scooty for going to that place. or even your car. Some people even drive a car to the nearby superstore. Avoid doing that, because you are using up the resource, that is the petroleum, the gasoline there. Okay, so the more you reduce the cut short on your usage of natural resources, you will, if all people start practicing this, you will find a significant difference. Okay, you are playing your part in saving the natural resources and protecting your environment. And also use a bicycle, because firstly the bicycle is something which doesn't just a sec. Bicycle is something which doesn't cause any environmental pollution. It is good for your health also. It's good for your heart, for cardiovascular activity. And the thing is, it doesn't pollute the environment, doesn't use any fuel. Okay. So instead of driving vehicles, try driving a cycle. Okay, that is a healthier option, right? And also you will be able to cut down on your fuel bills also. The amount of money you spend on petrol and diesel every month, that will also be reduced. Okay, so this way you can play your part in saving. If all people start doing it and practicing it, there are countries which promote this, like there are certain, like Google. If you take the case of Google, in Google, um, many people, the employees, they go to the office, they have created a protocol that the employees should come on a cycle. So there is absolutely, you'll find that the environment is very nice, and it's covered with green vegetation everywhere. The entire arena is a green place. It's covered with green, it's covered with vegetation, and there is absolutely no pollution. And the employees, they ride a bicycle every day to work. So this is something which we can also do over here. So the first step is cutting down or cutting short our usage of natural resources. Second step is reuse, reusing the waste materials. Use both sides of paper for writing. Give your old books and notebooks to someone who can use them. That's something which you can do. Okay. In this way, you will promote reuse of paper. Sometimes you may find that there is no one to take our books. So what you can do is, there are many shops, second-hand book shops, where you can sell your old books and also gain some money. You may not get a lot of money, but some money you will earn from there, right? So you can, sorry, you can always reuse things. And the last is recycle. Paper is recycled into making paper again. Also, you can even make paper at your home, which is known as handmade paper, which you use extensively in art and craft activities. It is also used to make paper mash. You can see an example of paper mash over here, which is a composite material consisting of paper pieces or pulp, which is sometimes reinforced with textiles, bound with an adhesive such as glue, starch, or wallpaper paste. So along, if you combine this paper mash, if you combine waste paper pulp with textiles, that is cloth material, or you use it along with glue, a strong adhesive, then you can create a very strong substance out of it, which can be used for making masks and other things. Okay, other things of daily usage, lamps and all. Okay, so this is reduce, reuse and recycle. Do not use what you don't need. If you can't reuse it, refuse it, right? How is plastic used? Most plastic is used in packaging, as you can see here. So say no to single use plastic. That's the very first step which you can do. You know that, how much harm this single use plastic is doing to your environment. Many of the animals are also facing danger of extinction. They suffer because of, they suffer silently because of the single use plastic. Very soon I'll be showing you an image of that. Less waste generation. There are certain tips which you can follow over here. You won't find these tips in any book, so I've just brought these tips for you. Bring your own bag for life. Okay, eco bag. Avoid excessive food packaging. If you don't need any extra package, don't ask for a polythene bag every time you visit a shop. Carry a cloth bag along with you. Pack your lunch in a reusable container. As you can see, students, I've seen in certain um, Japanese movies that in Japan normally they practice this. They don't carry their lunch boxes in plastic wraps or polythenes. They wrap their lunch box in a piece of cloth. So we can also follow that. Okay, instead of taking a polythene, and all that oil which comes out, normally their food doesn't contain a lot of oil and spices. Okay, our food contains a lot of oil, so a lot of oil comes out and it makes everything shabby. Instead of doing that, you can carry it in a piece, wrap it up in a piece of newspaper, and then you can wrap it up in a piece of cloth, and that cloth could be used every day, right? Say no to plastic straws. Yes, absolutely. Please have a straw with you, carry it everywhere with you. Okay, and say no to plastic straws because these are the major culprits behind causing harm to the environment, which I will be showing you in a short while. Don't use disposable cutlery. Okay, carry a reusable bottle or cup. Carry your cutlery with you. It won't take a lot of space in your bag to carry a spoon and a fork and a small plate or a glass with you. If you are going somewhere, if you know that you are going to eat outside, right? And it's definitely much safer than using their cutlery which is never washed. And even if they provide any disposable items, please refuse that. Carry your own plates and your own cutlery with you. That would be a little troublesome, but you can at least do this much in playing your part in saving the environment. And that would be much safer, as because of this coronavirus also, we people should be wary, and we should firstly we should avoid eating outside. But even if you are in a situation where you have to buy food from outside, try to use your own cutlery. Use glass jars for storage. That is the most safe and hygienic way. You know why? Because what I did was, a few months ago someone told me that plastic items or plastic Tupperware water bottles and other plastic water bottles, they are not safe. Why? Because the plastic inside it reacts with the water and creates harmful substances, which when ingested it might cause some cancers. So I immediately threw away all my water bottles. Okay, I sold them to the for recycling. And what I did was I ordered some steel water containers. Okay, online. These are available in much cheaper rates. You'll get three or four such water bottles, some steel water bottles for an amount of 600 or 700 rupees nowadays. Because of the festive season also, you will get a lot of discounts online. So go for those steel or copper bottles rather than plastic bottles for storing water. Have a home cooked meal. Nothing beats a home cooked meal, a wholesome food cooked by your mom. Okay, so that is something which has absolutely no replacement. So go for a home cooked meal, because you might have seen that, especially in our country, if you go for a street food, they barely wear any gloves. You don't know what kind of hand, because with that same hand they are accepting currency notes also from customers, giving out currency notes. God knows which all places they are touching, and with that same hand, without any gloves or any protection, they are even touching your food. So that food is something which is heavily contaminated. And when you talk about sandwiches and burgers, they put a whole lot of cheap cheese in that, and that is not good for your health. So avoid eating all that shit which they are putting it in the food. Go for healthy food, home cooked meal. Nothing beats a home cooked meal. Pressure on our already stretched natural resources is reduced. So this way you can reduce the pressure on our natural resources, right? Buy items with minimum packaging. Check out some examples here. You can go for items which have minimum packaging. Like instead of going for banana which is packed completely in plastic wrap, go for banana which is like this. Okay. Also, instead of taking several small packed boxes, go for one large carton which stores all these devices. Okay, so that is something which you can do. Go for items which are packed to the minimum, which use minimum packaging. So that way the amount of waste disposal will also be less. When you are gifting someone something, avoid too much of packaging on this. You can purchase something like if you are gifting celebrations, a Cadbury celebrations packet, it is already designed in a very proper way. So you can just attach a small ribbon or a bow tie there and give a small attach stick a small message on the small card with a message on it, and you can gift it to the person. No need of wrapping it up, that unnecessarily creates some garbage. Avoid buying disposable items. So here you can see all these items. Avoid buying these because they are not safe for the environment. Firstly, they are not decomposable, they won't decompose. So when you see that there are certain functions where people eat and drink and they throw away a lot of these garbage, what happens, there are animals on the streets who come and they eat up, even they eat these plastic materials. There many cows have died because of eating too much of plastic. They ingest a lot of plastic and eventually they die on the streets. So this is something which we can do on our part by avoiding such things. Also, you can check out in this particular image, there is a tortoise which is tangled in the ocean waste. That is all sorts of these nets and plastic wraps. Okay, and this they are not able to swim because of this. Avoid asking for plastic carry bags. So you can go for a jute bag. You can see here, this is a jute bag. You can go for a paper bag and you can go for a cloth bag, right? This would stay with you forever, and this paper is decomposable, jute is decomposable, they would be decomposed. And paper bag and jute bags, you can use it for a long time without throwing. So avoid plastic bags. Use reusable cloth or jute bags. So these are certain things which you can do at your level to avoid environmental pollution. Next is reuse. Reuse materials. Like here you can see making pillow covers or rags out of used shirts or ladies' suits. So all your old clothes can be reused for making DIY bed sheets or DIY cushion covers or pillow covers, right? Reusing some components of the waste that may have some economic value. You can see a lot many images here. These are the small trays for carrying eggs. They can be used for growing small plants. Okay. Then this is an old, you can say, small grinder, or so which is used in our kitchen. Okay, not used for grinding, but it is actually used for scraping, sometimes scraping cheese or any other thing like potato and all. So if you are like you don't want to use it or you are replacing it, consider using it for some other. It can be used for some other purpose, like here you can see, you can use it for hanging your earrings here, right? Old forks, they can be made into nice hangers like this. Then you can see some bottles. If you purchase something, those bottles or those jars can be used for growing plants. Used old shoes or boots can also be used for growing plants. Old cups can be used for creating handmade DIY candles. Okay, this entire wall is covered, it's decorated with paper plates, right? So this is something which you can do. An old tire rim of a cycle has been used for creating a clock. which looks quite trendy. So we can make use of these things in creating certain useful materials. Recycling, that is conservation of resources, reduction in energy used during manufacture, and reducing pollution levels. Some materials such as aluminium and steel can be recycled many times. As you can see here, metal is collected from your recycling container. Recycling is collected and delivered to a special processing plant. Using the latest technology, all material streams are separated. Metal elements are melted and treated to make new raw materials. The recycled metal is now used in the production of new product. So metal is back on the shelf for you to buy in as little as 6 weeks, and then again the cycle continues. So this way aluminium can be recycled. Here you can see how steel is recycled. So first of all, it is collected. All steel materials are collected. Sorting by magnet, steel slugging, grinding, furnace, forming, that is steel. Again, some blocks of steel are formed. They are flattered, and then end products, they could be used again for making other things. Metal, paper, glass and plastics are recyclable. They can be recycled. Plastic items are recycled into new plastic products. Kitchen waste, kitchen wet waste can be utilized to make compost that can be used as a fertilizer for your crops and even your garden. Okay. Wet garbage includes most kitchen waste, which can be used for preparing vermicompost also. Okay. Vermicompost is actually like it's kind of a manure which you create. It's a collection of all the kitchen waste and along with some insects like earthworms and other creatures which go deep, which dig deeper into the soil and thereby replenishing its nutrient content. Okay. That is vermicompost. So this is vermicompost. These earthworms play a major role in making the soil fertile. Non-toxic solid waste should be properly segregated and disposed of in landfills that are properly sealed to avoid leakage and contamination of surrounding land and groundwater. So, uh, there are landfills in Bhopal also. We have a landfill near Ayodhya Nagar, which is known as Bhanpur Khanti, and there you might have seen that all the garbage of Bhopal is dumped over there. So now what they are doing is they have set up a biogas plant somewhere where that garbage is slowly being carried to, and it is used for generating biogas, which can be used as an alternative for LPG in cooking. So properly, this work should be done properly such that waste doesn't get seep into the soil or it doesn't contaminate the water. It has to be properly sealed and disposed of. How can we conserve the environment? Programs like public awareness, conservation of forest, public campaigns, that is World Wildlife Fund and EPCO and NGOs or organizations like these can create awareness. Environmental pollution can be stopped by raising awareness. Okay, cultural heritage protection. This is the Great Parthenon in Rome. Okay, so this is a World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage. So you can try to protect all the cultural heritage in your country also by raising awareness. Major environmental issues. Air pollution. Here I have always been, you might have, as for air pollution, you have always seen sorry, images of your factories with large chimneys and chimneys emitting out a lot of smoke. But you might have never seen something like this. This is known as a smog, which comes from the word fog. Fog is something which takes place immediately after rains when when water droplets, when your environment is filled with water droplets. When your environment is filled with water droplets, okay, and they are suspended in the air. So that is just water. But what happens when already your atmosphere is polluted? Nowadays, because of so many vehicles on the roads, Delhi faced this situation 2 or 3 years ago when they had to ultimately resort to certain measures, like only odd even vehicles were allowed on certain days. Okay, large number of people were traveling through metros, right? So this happens because if there is a lot of poisonous gases suspended in the air, and if a fog is created, so these harmful particles, they get suspended and they get trapped in the water droplets, and that creates smog, which is a very dangerous situation. If you happen to step outside without a mask and you inhale those poisonous inhale, and if those water droplets, they get into your lungs, then they could cause respiratory problems. So this is one very important, one very serious problem caused by air pollution. Then water pollution, day by day, all the harmful chemicals are led out into the water sources. Our river Yamuna has gotten so polluted because of this. Here, solid waste. Here I was talking about, you can see something. It's a turtle, and the turtle is bleeding from its nostril. Why? Because there is a plastic item which is stuck inside his nostril. This plastic item, which was discovered to be a single use plastic straw, which happened to get into the nostril of this turtle. That is because we people are using these plastic materials. That is why these creatures are suffering quietly. So please, please, it's my request to all of you, all my viewers, those who are watching this video, please stop using single-use plastic. Agrochemicals. There are a lot of, these days we eat more of chemicals than the actual food. Our food is covered with pesticides. So it is required that you wash your vegetables and fruits very properly and thoroughly before consuming them. Radioactive waste. This is something, it's a very serious problem. You can see here, this is an image of Lake Karachi. It's not Karachi, it's the Lake Karachi in Russia. And this lake was used heavily in the 1990s for disposing of radioactive waste. Radioactive waste from all the nearby industries, they were directly dumped into this lake. So it is now, the lake is so polluted. You can even see, this is an image taken from Google Earth. It is so polluted that it appears kind of black, grayish black when when an image is taken from above. Okay, and it is said that if you just happen to stand there for a few minutes, you will die in 1 hour because of radiation poisoning. That is because radioactive wastes, they are so harmful for the environment, right? So this is a major repercussion of radioactive pollution. Greenhouse effect. How can we forget this? All our problems are because of this. There is too much of carbon dioxide in the air these days, because carbon dioxide is constantly being emitted by all the appliances which we are using. You know, your refrigerator which you use, that refrigerator use CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbons. Also the aerosol spray which you use, the aerosol, which is used in all the room fresheners, okay, which you use, right? Car fresheners, you get a very nice fragrant smell. But what are these? And also it is used in spray paints. So these aerosols, they contain chlorofluorocarbons, which are leading to the destruction of our ozone layer. First of all, that is there. Secondly, carbon dioxide is being constantly emitted by most of our household items as well as from vehicles and factories, which traps in the sunlight, right? Which traps the heat coming from the sunlight, doesn't let the heat escape the atmosphere, and it raises the temperature of the earth. and because of which all the polar ice caps they melt and it raises the sea level, and that causes global warming. This is a direct effect of greenhouse effect. This greenhouse effect, it is, if you can say, the planet Venus right now has greenhouse effect on steroids. There, the greenhouse effect is on steroids. That is, too much of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide in the air has rendered that planet so hostile that nothing can survive on that, not even metal. So, our Earth is slowly moving, believe it or not, our Earth is slowly moving towards that fate. Global warming. You can just see how pathetic our planet has become because of our reckless actions. Okay, all icebergs, glaciers, they are melting. If you check out the images from around 10 to 15 years ago and compare it with the present day situation, you will see the difference. Okay, 1951, this is how a lake looks like. Year 2000, the lake is only limited to this area. 1951, this is the status, and 2000, this is how it looks like. So you can see that how our water bodies are slowly getting exhausted because of this. Water is slowly, uh, it's slowly going off our planet. Ozone depletion in the stratosphere. Of course, this is there because of our use of chlorofluorocarbons, which removes, usually ozone has the one ozone molecule contains three ozone atoms. So it breaks this down and releases nascent oxygen, that is O, and it also releases O2. So what happens, this ozone layer, it gets broken down and it creates a massive hole, which can be what happens is this ozone layer actually protects your earth from all the cosmic radiations, harmful cosmic radiations coming from outer space. If the ozone layer is depleted, you will directly get all the UV light from the sun, and not only that, the ionic radiation from the sun, and also cosmic radiation, the harmful gamma rays which are coming from very distant, from our center of our galaxy, from the distant stars which are there. Okay, from all the distant pulsars and objects, it's coming directly, it would be reaching the planet directly, and slowly it is going to cause a lot of destruction, right? Major environmental conventions, conferences, and summits. Some major conferences held were the Ramsar Convention, which is a convention on wetlands, protecting the wetlands. Stockholm Convention, protecting human health and the environment from persistent organic pollutants. These were certain meetings and seminars which were held on a wide scale, on worldwide level, okay, where many countries participated to discuss about the prevalent problems and how to stop it and solve it. Vienna Convention for the protection of ozone layer. Montreal Protocol, again, this was also for the phase out of CFCs to phase down of hydrofluorocarbons. Okay. Caring for all life under the sun. Rio Earth Summit, the Kyoto Protocol for carbon emissions. Okay. Nagoya Protocol on access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their utilization, to the Convention of Biological Diversity. So you can see all these type of treaties and all these type of conventions were held to protect our, to take some steps to protect our environment. Then Paris Agreement, and these were certain things which were taken at a massive level. Okay. What can you do? Actions for saving your environment. Some actions you can take for yourself, encourage your friends, family, and neighbors. Air pollution. You can stop air pollution, avoid burning materials like wheat or rice straw in the agriculture field. Prefer using natural ventilation or fans in place of air conditioners. Now you may think that no, air conditioner is really cooling my room. I cannot survive without an air conditioner. Use a cooler instead of that. Because air conditioners use the harmful chlorofluorocarbons. Do you realize why at all do you need an air conditioner? That is because already the earth's average temperature is increasing by 3 degrees Celsius every year. 3 degrees Celsius every year, and this average will shoot up to 6 degrees Celsius in the coming years. So the average temperature of our planet is increasing a lot, because of which you have to make use of these ACs. In olden days, people barely used them. So switch to fans, switch to coolers rather than using ACs, air conditioners. Energy use. Conserve energy. Turn off the lights, fans if you are not sitting in that room, if you are not using it. Prefer prefer using public transport, buses and cycles instead of cars. Using solar energy or wind energy. Avoid for water pollution, avoid throwing waste in the rivers and lakes. Instead, prefer rainwater harvesting. Then avoid using plastic bags. Make use of separate bins for different types of garbage. Okay. Chemicals in food, avoid chemicals, pesticides or fertilizers. Go for some natural herbal alternatives. Use organic food which is chemical free. Okay. Forest plants, avoid overuse of paper. Okay. Instead, think about reusing paper. Then avoid the use of water. You can also overuse of water you can stop. If you are brushing your teeth, you can keep the tap closed. Instead of using a shower, go for a bucket and a small mug for bathing. Okay, that way you can save water. So that's all in today's class, students. I hope you all understood this session and you benefited from this. The major purpose of making so many things, although in your textbook it's not given in so much detail, but why I took it in detail is because first of all, this is my one of my favorite topics, and second thing is because I wanted you people to make aware. I wanted to raise some awareness in you regarding your environment, so you can also play your part. These I focused mainly on what you can do at your level to save your environment, right? So you can always make use of those things in saving your environment and making the planet a better place for the coming generations and also for the other people. Okay, be kind to animals, be kind to plants, be kind to everybody around you, and make sure that nobody is suffering. So thank you. With these good wishes, I sign off today. See you again in the next class. Thank you.